Oh my God. Eddie Hearn. Dillian Whyte reportedly fails a drug test, not for one, but for multiple drugs. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Now, I'm out here in Baltimore. It's fight week. And got some most unfortunate news in the curious case of Dillian Whyte. Now, I got this when I got to, I touched down and be more where they see more. And, a bunch of people hit me up, so I seen it, but I went to bed because this was some bullshit. But I went to bed. Reports came out today. It's major websites. It's not like just some, YouTube only thing where major websites are reporting that they have information and sources revealing Dillian Whyte failed a drug test. Not only did he fail a drug test, but he failed a drug test and it was known about before the fight with Oscar Rivas, his last victory, took place. You even see the Sun link in the description, and they're talking about, it says, Dillian drug shock. Dillian Whyte tests positive for banned substance before beating Oscar Rivas for the WBC interim heavyweight title. Dillian Whyte reportedly failed a drug test before his points win over Oscar Rivas. The Brit picked himself up off the canvas to win a unanimous decision, O2 Arena last Saturday, to claim the interim WBC. Victory also made the body snatcher 31 the mandatory challenger for Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Right? But that status is under threat after new shock revelations. It is reported that his A sample taken by UCAD, which is, the UK version of like VADA, is their protocol, their service, before the fight was flagged for one or more banned substances. A B sample will now be tested. According to Boxing Scene, it says the positive test results was reported to Whyte's camp and the British Board of Control 3 days before the fight, so they knew about it. Oh my God. It is claimed that neither the WBC nor Rivas were made aware of the failed test. The BBB of C allowed the bout to go ahead and as of yet has not sanctioned the Brixton box. Whyte, who is a part of the WBC's clean boxing program, has the right to appeal the results. Whyte weighed in heavier than usual at 259 pounds for the Rivas bout and was knocked down in the ninth. He won a decision. Promoter Eddie Hearn responded to the claims, insisting Whyte was cleared to fight by the BBB of C, although he did not deny the boxer failed the test. Very interesting. See? But wait, there's more. Hearn tweeted, further to reports, I can confirm that both Dillian Whyte and Oscar Rivas were subject to extensive VADA and UCAD testing for their bout. Both fighters were cleared to fight by both bodies and the BBB of C. See, that sounds like technical jargon. So what is this report? Why is it coming out saying that he failed the drug test? And there's no clarity to that. Not like if I had somebody that I represented and it was said that they failed a drug test, I would probably say like, yo, my man's innocent. He didn't do it. He's a hard worker. It's nothing. It's just said that they were cleared. Nobody gives a fuck if they were cleared because there's a lot of things, that's like, I know bitches that take dudes back who cheat. So that doesn't clear you of wrongdoing because she took you back after you cheated. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's just, to me, that sounds like semantics. I don't know why they were cleared, but refute the claim. That's what people want. People want the claim refuted. People want to find out that, oh no, Dillian Whyte didn't have anything banned in the substance. Because you could be clear, like, let's say he said, oh, I was at GNC or a vitamin shop and something contained an ingredient that happened to be banned. So, they cleared him. That doesn't mean anything, And see, you can't do this to me of all people because I studied this sport. Eric Morales failed a drug test in the rematch for Danny Garcia. A lot of people don't talk about this. Eric Morales is one of my favorite fighters, but this is a fact. He had that clenbuterol shit. That's the same shit Canelo had, right? And he was cleared to get knocked the fuck out by Danny Garcia. You know, I don't know how, but he got cleared. And the fight pushed through. And Danny Garcia, no look, left hook. You know, Francisco Vargas in his fight with Orlando Salido in California failed a drug test. He was cleared. He was cleared to fight. But that don't mean he was innocent. You know, they just found a reason for him to push the fight through. Dillian Whyte was previously banned for 2 years in 2012 when he tested positive for methics, whatever, following a knockout victory over Sandor Bellew. Whyte claimed he did not knowingly take the drug, which was contained in nutritional supplements. And listen, I know people like not really in boxing, but I'm not naive, but I know people like other athletes and like bodybuilders and stuff, so that have taken different anabolics and different things like that, and I picked their brain just to hear like their stories. I would never do nothing like that. I can't touch that. But the thing is, you know the ins and outs. You know, a little bit of Google is your best friend. Like ask Jeeves and shit. You know, at the end of the day, you can find like say you fail a drug test for oxycodone, you know, some random name, you know, methylphenidate, you know, and then you fail, and you could do a Google research to see if there's any over-the-counter substances that you can use as a scapegoat that contain that particular, or cases of methylexylin, you know, methylexylin and all these other drugs, and you can see if there's like reported cases of that, and then you can just immediately attribute it to that. Like, oh, yo, you know, I took something that was this, you know. So, no. You know, it's not good enough of a patsy or a scapegoat, in my opinion. Whyte returned to the ring in 2014, been involved in a blockbuster fight with Anthony Joshua's only defeat, Joseph Parker. Derek Chisora speaking after beating Rivas, Whyte said, "This is my 27th professional fight, and he's undefeated, and he's beaten some tough guys. I wanted to have a war. He's a great fighter. I have a lot of respect for him. I went to move, crossed my leg, and got caught, but I got straight back up and won every round after that." We'll see what happens. A lot of things get said in boxing. Mandatory could mean I have to wait 600 days. We are all looking to fight in November, December after some rest. And it says the Sun has contacted Matchroom Boxing for response, and they probably haven't received that yet. So now it looks like they're gathering their story as to what happened and the details. But you have to look at it. How come this was never refuted? Like that, if you accuse Joshua of ducking or being afraid to fight Wilder, Eddie Hearn, like that, he'll get on the horn. Oh, Joshua's not like that. He wants to fight everybody. But then Dillian Whyte's being accused of failing for banned substances, multiple banned substances, and all Eddie Hearn can say is that he was cleared to fight. What? So no, okay, he didn't have this in his system, or my man is 100% innocent, and the details will come and follow, and everybody will see, and we'll clear his name. It's, hey, Oscar Rivas and Dillian Whyte were both cleared to fight. That's bullshit. Because again, I just named several fights, from Francisco Vargas to, you know, Eric Morales and other fights where the fight got pushed through regardless. You know, Alexander Povetkin. See, I do this boxing shit. You can't insult my intelligence. Alexander Povetkin, similar situation. He failed 2 drug tests in 1 year. The biggest, obviously, being the opportunity versus Deontay Wilder. So he wasted Wilder's time. Wilder ended up having legal action for getting his time wasted and having to fight Chris Arreola. But anyway, the fight fell apart. Then he was supposed to fight Bermane Stiverne in Russia. Bermane Stiverne flew out there. They had a weigh-in. Then it was revealed that he failed a drug test, right? Alexander Povetkin was left without a dance partner because I talked to Bermane Stiverne and interviewed him. He said he got the hell out of Dodge. He said they left after that. Once the fight was canceled, was there to be in Russia. He said people were chasing him. I don't know what that was about, but the interview's up on my page. Anyway, he left. He told me he left Russia. There was no reason the fight got canceled, so they went back to the States. And guess what? Povetkin still fought in Russia and did his own thing, and he knocked out Johan Duhaupas. He knocked him out, and they didn't even give him boxing shoes. Go watch the video. It's on YouTube. They gave Johan Duhaupas like some Nike Air Maxes and threw him in the ring, and he got slept. And Johan Duhaupas was at least tough and competitive with Deontay Wilder, but he got blown out because he was, brought in on a day's notice because Povetkin failed a second drug test, and the Russian promoters or whoever, they had already sold the event, so they didn't want to disappoint, so they just said fuck it and pushed it through. So me, as far as stuff like that, I don't care about being cleared. He was cleared to fight, because how was Povetkin cleared to fight? You know what I'm saying? That type of shit happens. We want to know if he had it in the system and why. Horrible look for rematch room, for Eddie Hearn, for Dillian Whyte, and for DAZN. That's that simple. For Dillian Whyte, I can break them all down. For Dillian Whyte, it's a bad look because he's talked about everybody but his opponent, Oscar Rivas. He did more talking about Wilder, Tyson Fury, the WBO, WBC, Alexander Usyk, Anthony Joshua, Gerald Big Baby Miller, etc. And now he failed a drug test that hasn't been refuted. The reports are suggesting it, and he's went radio silent. We haven't heard anything from him. So that's a bad look. Then, regards to the Wilder situation, it's a terrible look because he basically him and his promoter begged for recognition from the WBC. And then they get their way, so to speak. And the WBC anoints the winner of Rivas versus White to be the number one mandatory for Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. So you finally did it after 600 days, 932 days, whatever they keep counting. You did it. You got in line officially to become Wilder's mandatory. But now with this happening, this is just pure ignorance, because now that's in jeopardy. Who knows what the WBC don't even really look like they like how Eddie Hearn and Dillian Whyte have like lambasted and ran their name through the mud. So this is just an easy opportunity. The WBC, you failed a drug test. Sorry, we got to drop you from the rankings. You gave them the ammo. You never do that. If you beefing with somebody, you never give them the one up like that. So as far as I'm concerned, Dillian Whyte just gave the WBC carte blanche to potentially just drop him from the rankings, just like that, after he just fought to get in the ranking. Now Wilder might not have to fight him. Now let's talk about Eddie Hearn. For Dillian Whyte, the other reasons are simple. The mandatory, all this bullshit, about Wilder and begging for the mandatory and then getting represented and getting the interim by beating Rivas. And then this comes out and it hasn't been denied. For Eddie Hearn, more of the same. But for Eddie Hearn specifically, Eddie Hearn likes to talk all in the video. If you want to be a boxer, don't want to have to worry about the executive producer, all in the video, right? And Eddie Hearn, he likes to talk. He likes to get in front of the camera. And he just sat up here and done several interviews talking about America's and the American drug testing protocol is all fucked up and all out of whack and something needs to be done. Basically, America, how the show America's Got Talent, basically America's got cheats, and just went in and said something needs to be done about the USA because of this run rampant. But guess what? The UK looking shaky as fuck right now. Tyson Fury failed a drug test with cocaine in his system. They said he had other stuff in his system. Dillian Whyte has failed 2 drug tests, at least according to this report. Anthony Joshua hasn't failed anything to my knowledge. However, every major person in boxing in his division have kind of alluded or speculated that he's on 2s or doing something. Billy Joe Saunders just failed reading. Man, it's looking crazy right now. It is looking crazy, and it looks like people are jockeying for a position. And how dare you comment on the U.S. rampant epidemic of drug cheats, and the U.K. is not looking much better. If anything, they're looking worse. They're looking like the UFC. and it is at the worst times and stuff. Gerald Big Baby Miller, that's another fighter. He's American, but he was aligned with Eddie Hearn in Rematch Room. So if you look at it, Rematch Room in general, how many people have they had fail? The other thing, it goes deeper than that. Eddie Hearn just speculated that Manny Pacquiao was on something. Whether you agree with that or not, the man talking and basically doing the insinuation is Eddie Hearn. And you have several fighters that fail. And for DAZN and all that, I told you the DAZN curse is looking crazy. The DAZN curse is looking real crazy, yo. They need big fights, and now the fight that they just had is in question. Dillian Whyte, Oscar Rivas. And then, just deeper than that is like, how was this fight allowed to continue with this information beforehand? And then allegedly Rivas didn't have an opportunity he wasn't advised of this to, see if he wanted to continue, to see if, he could maybe demand more money. Like, oh, he failed a drug test, I don't trust him. And now he just took a loss, and you could have been in there with somebody who was on something. Because Dillian Whyte, to me, he looked a little bit sluggish, and like they said, he was a career heavy. The weight he came in was like more than he's normally weighing. So all these things aren't a good look. And then on top of that, to boot, Oscar Rivas knocked you down. So if you were on something, then that doesn't look good. That you were on something and had to try to cheat and not take it on an even playing field. And then you still got dropped hard and got rocked, It was in a tough fight. Man, listen, I said this the other day, and it's so funny because people got mad. I said I have no interest in watching Dillian Whyte versus Wilder. And people are like, why? He's earned it. And I got, a lot of people commenting and shit. Now you see. And this was before this happened, but, man, I don't even care about that fight, I really don't care. Wilder's looking like the godsend, he's accused. He said a lot of people are on something and accused certain people. And this is just a bad, terrible look for Dillian Whyte, any way you slice it. Especially, and see, why is he, if you're innocent, why is he silent? Where's Dillian Whyte at? Let me go look at his most recent post. Yeah. Look. 11 hours ago, before the news broke, he just said, I have the best team in the business. Look, had in no regards to what was happening. See, look, he tested positive 60 minutes ago. Look, people are asking him. Dillian, the body juicer, White. Wow. See, look. Drug user. Yeah, that's you. Wow. You are a drugs cheat. Shame on you. Absolutely shame on you. Look, I don't see no response. Look, people it's ugly, man. And you fought all this way to get the mandatory spot to maybe potentially lose it. That's just pure ignorance on my part. In my belief. You did all this. And then on top, it just goes deep, man. All these guys accuse other people and pointing the finger of being on something. Dillian Whyte was very adamant about Joshua being on something, being a drugs cheat and using testosterone, TRT or 2s or whatever. And so was Gerald Miller. He's like, he's on something. And then they fell in drug tests. That just looked crazy. That's like a motherfucker with herpes talking about someone that got the clap. Like, what the fuck? Like, look at him. This motherfucker got the clap. Chlamydia. Motherfucker, you got herpes. Like, you got herpes. What are we talking about? And then Eddie Hearn talking about the U.S. drug problem is so out of control. And Manny Pacquiao, a lot of people believe he's on something. Well, a lot of people believe Matchroom fighters are on something. And Matchroom's taking the L, man. Andy Ruiz said he ain't fighting in the UK. The negotiations seem to be taking longer than we would expect, given the fact that they both know they have to fight each other. It's looking crazy right now for Dillian Whyte. He did all this. Matchroom fuck around, have no stars. If Anthony Joshua loses again or if the rematch don't happen, Dillian Whyte, this is not a good look for him. And the thing is, like, I'm really starting to question like the integrity of boxing, how they know about it days before and only certain parties are notified. That's fucked up. You know, you just seen what happened with Maxim Dadashev and his untimely death and unfortunate. So how is the BBFC and Eddie Hearn and everything gonna allow this man Oscar Rivas to compete with someone who failed drug tests? Bro, they gotta get something. You know, everybody's going, man, we putting cases on all you. People are gonna start looking into it, like how did this get sanctioned? Eddie Hearn talking about they got cleared. Okay, they got cleared, but with the Maxim situation, look. With the Maxim situation, how did he get killed? Further to reports, I can confirm that both Dillian Whyte and Oscar Rivas were subject to extensive VADA and UCAD testing for their bout. That doesn't tell you anything. Both fighters were cleared to fight by both bodies of the BBFC. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can be cleared. Maybe someone's getting paid on the table. We need answers. None of this says anything. But, you know, especially with that Maxim situation, I don't like to see shit like this in boxing because this is people's lives. This man like really lost his life doing what he loved doing and what he was passionate. I heard he was a gym rat. Like he had a crazy work ethic. People shouldn't be allowed, or at least at the very least, they should be notified. Hey, you about to get in there with somebody who has Mexilin and Exilin and Ostrofilarin and Filalin and all this shit in their system. You know, at least so they know what they're getting into. Me, that's how I am as a person. I want to always know what I'm getting into in situations. Like if I was dating a girl and she's married and, well, that sounds crazy. I'm just giving examples, but I'm just saying if she's going through a separation or something, I need to know what I'm getting into, or if she has kids, like don't be hiding shit like that. Like people need to know the situations that they're getting into. Bad look for Dillian Whyte. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Keep working. Eddie Hearn, Deontay Wilder looking like the king. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.